My friend Pedro cooks the most amazing chicken on the barbecue. What he does is cooks the chicken upright on a beer can. Now this not only keeps the chicken super moist, it's also a little bit theatrical when it comes to the table. Now you can use any type of beer you like. Open the beer and we'll add 1/3 of this beer into a bowl. I've also grated some ginger, finely grated some ginger. You don't want this beer to be completely full because if that happens, it'll overflow. We just want the rest of this beer, so the 2/3 left, to bubble away and steam and flavour the chicken from the inside. To give it some extra flavour, I'll grab 2 bay leaves. And I love hard herbs like this because it can handle the heat and we're really going to get the perfume of it. Break them up a little bit and then pop them in the can of beer. Now Pedro does this on the barbecue. I'm doing it in the oven today and it works just as well, and it's completely safe to put this beer can in the oven or the barbecue. Now back over here to the beer and ginger. We'll add some more flavours, some ground chilli, oregano, dried oregano, and some smoked paprika. Now I need big cloves of garlic, 3 cloves, and we'll just grate that into the bowl. Now there's many different ways of doing this. I'm giving it a bit of a Portuguese twist, but you can do a honey soy combination. You could also do a Texas style combination. As long as you've got that beer can there. Okay, that's plenty of garlic. Now the zest of 1 lemon, we'll grate that directly into the bowl. This also works really nicely with orange zest and lime zest. And now I need the juice of 1 lemon, so we'll cut that in half. And I'll just use a juicer to get as much juice out as possible. Look at that beautiful, juicy lemon there. Now I'm using 2 types of acid, so the lemon and also some red wine vinegar. So we'll add lemon juice and then the vinegar. Now for some seasoning. We don't want to only season this marinade, but we also need to season the chicken. So 2 generous handfuls of sea salt, some freshly cracked pepper, and then to bring the whole thing together, extra virgin olive oil. We want about a tablespoon of that directly into the marinade. Now I've brought the chicken out of the fridge an hour ago. Super important. I say it all the time for roast, but it will ensure it cooks evenly. Now we'll just whisk up this marinade and we'll start preparing our chook. I want to pat it dry so there's not too much moisture on the skin, because as we know, moisture is the enemy when it comes to crispy skin. So paper toweling and we'll pat the whole chicken dry. Now what I'll do is just tuck the wingtips underneath the breast. This will just ensure they don't burn because the wingtips are so tender. They're the first thing that burns, so we're protecting that just like this. And now we'll bring our tray over and we're going to pop the chicken upright and carefully place it on top. See how it fits quite easily? And there you go. I know it looks a little strange, but I promise you the results are sensational. Crispy chicken, it's worth it. I've preheated my oven to 190 degrees, so nice and hot. And now for our marinade, we'll just drizzle it in our dish. Now we need to brush the chicken with the marinade all over, under the little wings too, and then we're going to pop it in the oven. So this is going to take about 45 minutes to 1 hour of cooking. I want you to keep basting this, so every 20 minutes baste it so we get a really nice caramelized, spicy crust on this chook. How good does this chook look? I've taken it out of the oven and I've allowed it to rest for 20 minutes. It'll stay warm within that 20 minutes because that beer can is super hot. But as I turn it, you can see how caramelized it is all over. And that's because we used a fan-forced oven and the heat was circulating constantly, so we've got crispy skin all over. The perfect way to serve a chook. Now, because this has cooled down a little, I can handle it with my hands. So just carefully take it off the can, just like that. And then I'll place that onto a board just to present. I've also put a little bay leaf there just to show off the flavour that we placed into the beer can. Beer can is done And then all of these pan juices are so yummy. Don't waste it. Serve it on the side or just glaze the chicken one more time before you take it to the table. Now I would serve this with some baked rice or some roasted potatoes and just a really crisp salad. That is the perfect roast chook. Bit of a funny way of doing it, but I tell you what, the results are second to none.